Hello everyone, myself Chandana MN from Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, studying in Computer Science and Engineering Department, and my USN is 1VE20CS028. Today I am here to explain about ethical consideration in IoT deployment. Ethical consideration of IoT deployment. First is privacy. IoT device collects the vast amount of data about the users and their environments. Ethical concern arises regarding who has access to this data, how it is used, and whether the individual have contested to its collection. It is crucial to implement the robust data privacy measures such as data anonymization and encryption to protect the user's privacy. This is all about the privacy in ethical consideration of IoT deployment. Next is security. IoT devices also often vulnerable to cyber security threats such as hacking and data breaches. Ensuring the and the security of the IoT devices, the network is essential to prevent the unauthorized access to the sensitive data and to protect against the potential harm to the individuals and organization. Next is the transparency. There should be transparency regarding the capabilities and functionalities of the IoT device as well as how to collect the data by these devices is also used and shared. Users should be informed about the purpose for which their data is being collected and have control over the data. And next is data ownership and control. The ethical concern arises regarding the ownership and control of the data generated by the IoT devices. The user should have the right to control their data, including the ability to access, modify, and to delete. There should be clear guidelines on the data ownership, particularly in case where data is shared between the multiple parties. Next is equity and accessibility. There is a risk that certain individuals or groups may disproportionately impacted by the IoT deployment, leading to the inequality in access to the technology and its benefit. It is also important to consider the issue of equity and accessibility to ensure that IoT deployment does not exist as social disparities. Next is environmental impact. The production, deployment, and disposal of IoT device have environment consequences, including the energy consumption, electronic waste, and resource depletion. Ethical deployment involves the minimizing environment impact to the measures such as energy efficiency, recycling, and sustainability and manufacturing practices. These are the ethical consideration of IoT deployment like privacy, security, transparency, data ownership and control, equity and accessibility, and environment impact. Next is challenges. There are many challenges in ethical consideration of IoT deployment. First is ethical consideration of IoT faces challenges such as navigation, complex ecosystem involving the diverse stakeholders, ensuring the privacy amidst extensive data collection and address security vulnerabilities to the cyber threats. Next is the absence of universal standards and regulation complicates the matter along the side issue of the data and ownership and to control it. Next is bringing the digital divide for the equitable access to the IoT technology, integrating the ethical principles into the design, decision, and promoting the users' awareness to pose the additional hurdles. The next is regulation, compliance, and international collaboration for further complicate ethical IoT efforts. These are the challenges necessitate concentrated efforts to establish the clear guidelines and enhanced security measures for the faster collaboration and for the among the stakeholders to uplift the ethical standards in IoT deployment. The challenges are the it has a extensive data collection and addressing security, and it also regulates the universe. It has an absence of universal standard and regulation complicates matters along the sides of it has its own ownership and it controls it. It also brings the equality between the individuals or the group of the people, and it also regulates the compliance and international collaboration with the ethical efforts, and it also gives a clear guidelines, and it also has the collaboration among the stakeholders to uplift the standard ethical standards in IoT deployment. The ethical consideration of deployment also has a here is a recap of this. It has a privacy, security, transparency, data ownership, and equity and accessibility, and environmental impact. Privacy has large amount of data about the users and their environment. It also does the data encryption and protects the users' privacy. Second is security has a it protects the device from hacking and data breaches, ensuring the protection against the harmful to the individuals or the group or organization. It has a transparency which is about the regarding the capabilities and functionalities of the IoT device, where the device data is collected and being used and shared among the users. Next is data ownership and its control. It concerns about the ownership and control of the data generated by the IoT device, and it has also right to control the data, and it also has a right to access and modify and delete the data. Next is equity and accessibility. It takes the risk up for the individual or the group impacted by the IoT deployment. It leads the inequality in access to the technology and its benefits. It also has an environmental impact, like production, deployment, and disposal of IoT devices has a environmental impact in ethical consideration of IoT, and it also includes in the energy consumption, electronic waste, and resource depletion. And it also minimizes the environmental impact to the measures such as energy efficiency, recycling, and sustainable manufacturing practices. These are all about the ethical consideration of IoT in deployment. In further more videos, we'll learn more about IoT. Thank you.